let's discuss about the one more important questions which is generally asked in the interview. So we will discuss in this video about the immutable class. So generally by asking this type of questions, so interviewer is trying to see in you that whether you are aware of the things immutable or not. So he try to just check your knowledge on that whether you have used practically this class or not in your project. So you have to explain in that way. So here in this video I'm going to tell you about the five state from for each you will be telling to interviewer, and he will quite convincing with your answer. So simply we have a lot of definition about the immutable classes. So but in this, whenever you interview ask like the give you the basic definition of the immutable classes, and then you add this 4 to 5 steps so that he will aware of the things like how to create a immutable classes. So he will able to get knowledge on you that you have a on immutable classes. Okay, so first I will discuss about the how to steps where you can create immutable classes. So the first step which is generally comes while creating an immutable classes is class. You should must declare that class as a final so that its subclasses cannot be derived. Okay, so every class you should declare as a final. I will show this with example also. So if you go it here, so here see I have created one class, right? So here is the immutable classes, so I have declared this class as a final, right? This is the final, right? This is a final class. Okay, so let's see another we are having data members in the class must be declared private so that direct access is not allowed. So what you have to do, any of the fields you are trying to add in that class, so that field should be private. And the next we are having, and that field should be final also. Okay, so it is written like data member in the class must be declared as a final so that we cannot change the value of it after the object creation. So what we have to do, like if you can see the example, you have to create a class here like private final string. So this is the modifier private and final. You have to add this to modifier to any of the data members or variables which is present in your class, so that we cannot change the value of this. And after that what we have to go, we have to give a parameterized constructors which should analyze all the performing a deep copy of the object so that its object references cannot be modified. So what does means, so we have a parameterized constructor. Okay, so since I've created a parameterized constructor which takes name, registration number and metadata. So what we have to do now, so since see name and country register number and metadata is a variable, so we whatever the value we are giving content name and registration number, that will assign to this dot content name so that it can never be modified after the object creations. Okay, so that we will define add it to content name and content registration number, right? And what we are having the metadata we are giving, so that metadata we are performing a deep copy. We are not adding a reference or all the things. So we are just taking the data and we're creating our new hash map, and we are just putting this data to metadata, right? Okay, so this way you have to create it. And the last things you have to remember, like you should not perform any shutter methods into that. So you should give deep copy of objects to be performed in getter method, so to return a copy rather than returning the actual object reference. So what does means, see in this class what I have created, so in this class only we are having a candidate name, candidate registration number, so we are having the getter. You cannot see here setter method, so you don't have to provide setter method here, and we have to provide get metadata, so only getter methods is available here, right? And in getter method again you have to take all the value from this dot metadata, and you have to return those metadata to the temp, right? This way, so you have to perform a deep copy while returning the object. Okay, so basically you have to explain the interpreter with writing this type of code. A simple class we can write, and if interviewer want you that to write a class, you can explain him in this way We can classify a final class. Immutable classes declare all the member as a private and final, create a parameterized constructor, add some getter method, and while returning object, return the deep copy of the object. So this way you have to give it, right? So if you explain in this way to the interviewer, it will be quite convincing to them,